right, on the Geek News here, we have, first off, this is something you brought to my attention. Ron Howard says he's going to be working, whether there's a Willow series in the works, okay?
Yes.
Just before we get into the details, what do you think about Willow coming back?
I'm excited. I don't remember, I mentioned this before, I don't remember much of the plot of Willow because I saw it when I was probably 7 years old. But I remember I liked it, and it was about, a little person, dwarf, or
they're considered dwarfs in this.
Yeah, and he got a wand, and it was wizards and magic and all that exciting stuff when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
That's one thing I brought to you. I mentioned to you is I'm a little worried about maybe the graphics. If you look back at old Willow, the graphics don't hold up.
Yeah,
and so it's kind of like, it takes me out of it a little bit. Val Kilmer's fighting some like clearly puppet. But anyway, so Willow will be coming to Disney Plus. It's a classic adventure. It's a fantasy adventure with dwarves and dragons and stuff like that. And it's all about protecting a prophecy newborn. Okay. If all goes as planned, the new sequel series...
Is this going to be like The Mandalorian? That's what it's starting to sound like.
Well, no, the original is that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're protecting the little girl.
Yeah.
The baby. If all goes as planned, the new series will be directed by Ron Howard, but this is being written by Jonathan Kasdan instead of the original writer for the original story was by George Lucas of Star Wars fame. About Kasdan, anyways... we don't have a green light on it yet, but they are working on it. So here's Ron Howard's actual statement to Collider. We are in development. We're developing Willow for Disney Plus, and I don't know about directing or not, but John Kasdan is writing. He's very passionate about it. Does a great job. We don't have a green light yet, but if it goes, I'll certainly want to roll up my sleeves and be a part of that because that would be great to revisit that world. So he's saying like he doesn't know if he's going to direct, but he wants to be back into it. So he might be a producer instead, That'd something like that.
That'd be great.
It'll be interesting to see. I ended up getting mixed up when what what messed me up is Jonathan Kasdan. He's the one that did the Solo movies. The Solo movie. Okay. That's what messed me up. But yeah, so I think Willow would be a good property to go back to. It's something that's untouched. Mm-hmm. Does Disney have a fantasy story?
Not really. Not that I can think of. Not that's, Not that's more mature, I guess. There's, I'm sure there's plenty of kid fairy tales.
I can't think of even. Well, I know, but I just don't think of any series that they have. In development.
Series.
And we're coming up into a time where everybody does. So we have HBO's coming up with multiple Game of Thrones.
Yeah. We
We have Amazon working on The Ring of Time and on Lord of the Rings, and then we also have this one here. So I think we're gonna pretty soon be very lucky with all these different fantasy shows coming up. That'd be a really good time for us.
I'm gonna be glued to my couch.
Yeah. Anything you want to say on Willow before we head out?
No, I think I'm excited for it. I think it'll be good.
That'll be cool. Pokemon Home is a new thing coming in February. So the Pokemon Company has a new cloud-based system, and it'll be called Pokemon Home. And what it is it'll let you transfer Pokemons from past game to new games and stuff like that. So you're able to, say you worked really hard to collect every Pokemon in a certain game. You start a new game and you still want to be able to enjoy those Pokemon that you worked hard for. You can now transfer them over there with Pokemon Home. They tried this before in the past. Now this is going to be like a whole new system that's going to be nice and clean.
So what was wrong with it in the past?
I think it was just really kind of janky. It was, we didn't have the ability to have now we have cloud systems everywhere, so it's a lot easier to do the cloud part. So
I think it's a good idea, but I think it's one step short. I think they need to maybe they already have it. I don't know. Find a modern way to do the classic Pokemon card collecting and game that we used to play. So you used to bring cards out and play a game with Pokemon cards, right?
Those still exist, yeah.
Yeah, but don't do the paper cards anymore. Make it all on your phone. You have your team.
Oh, you're
of
saying
Pokemon.
like a Hearthstone, but with Pokemon.
Yeah.
So that'd be a smart idea. I mean, they should do that.
And Yu-Gi-Oh, all these other companies, if Pokemon or somebody makes the umbrella system to run those kind of card games, then they can.
Yu-Gi-Oh's done it time and time again. Magic's doing it now. And it's very successful for Magic. Yeah, there's no reason not to. Even League of Legends has a version of it now for them.
There you go.
But yeah, so there's gonna be two different plans. There's the free and the premium. The free version will let you store up to 30 Pokemon, and the premium will let you store 6,000 Pokemon. There are other limitations to the free version, including deposit limits and trade restrictions. And the main feature of the Pokemon Home is as a hub to transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Sword and Shield, Pokemon Let's Go, Eevee and Pikachu, Pokemon Bank, which I think was the old system, and then eventually they're going to add Pokemon Go to the system.
Nice.
And then you'll be able to trade with other friends and strangers on the global trade system. That's what they're calling it. This will also be the most complete Pokedex we have to date because it'll actually be a collect. They'll actually keep track of all your Pokemon. So it's a Pokedex that includes all old Pokemon and will eventually grow to new Pokemon.
Nice.
So like say if you have Sword and Shield, you won't have some of the old Pokemon and you won't have any of the newest Pokemon that come out.
Yeah. This will have everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. If you're like a real collector, then you're going to want to have that, you know. For the paid version, there's 3 different tiers. There's the $2.99 per month, $4.99 for 3 months, or $15.99 for a year, which isn't too bad.
Yeah, that's cheap.
And everybody, if you have a Pokemon account, which we all pretty much do, you're gonna get 1 month free of the premium, so you get to try it out.
That's
pretty cool.
Yeah.
What do you think about them doing this?
I think if anybody's still into Pokemon, that's great, and this would be. I mean, it's not expensive, so
It's pretty cheap. Yeah,
you might as well.
Nintendo usually is about that.
My only concern is if it gets hacked, it's gonna ruin the system. So don't. You have to be working on that ahead of time. Have a game plan or whatever. Don't let people hack it because one person has 6,000 Snorlaxes and they're out just trading them for pennies or something like that, or trading it for money. Then it ruins the game for everybody.
Yeah,
Nobody's going to take pride in catching a Snorlax anymore because, the hackers are already selling them for $5.
You're a little bit burned from Pokemon Go, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm butthurt.
So the Pokemon Go thing, that's the problem there. This is actually a cloud server that's going to be at their place.
Yeah, the Pokemon Go was a problem with the technology, right? With the geo-mapping.
Yeah. So it wasn't necessarily their fault that went bad. This is something different. This is a big company that knows how to do these services before. So I think it'll go over well. I like that the plans are cheap. I really like the idea of. I wish I had this around when I had like Pokemon Yellow because that Pikachu was really important. You know what I'm saying?
This came out 15 years ago. We'd be totally into it.
Yeah, if there was a way to like, if you had a hub, you can go to the nearest Blockbusters and plug in your old Pokemon Yellow, and it oh man, then I'd be in. Then they'd have my money.
What's cool is with this, they'll probably do special events or whatever too. If you go to a Pokemon convention, whatever, everybody who goes there can get a certain Pokemon free, and it would go to your account. You just
they already do events like that, but now it can go to the account. Yeah, that'd be nice. So now you'd have to like trade in for it or get the code or whatever and enter the code in later on. But now you can just do that. Yeah. That's a good point. Okay, next up we have One Piece is getting a live action series for Netflix. Now, One Piece is a kind of a pirate themed anime. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I've called around all our friends. Nobody watches One Piece.
I was gonna say, have you ever watched One Piece?
No, I've wanted to because I like pirate stuff.
One of my high school friends used to watch it, but I don't know anything about it. That's all I know is that she was big into anime, but I never watched any.
Well, of course I asked Daniel. He's our anime. He's like, no, this is the one I don't watch. I'm like, okay, great. Now you're not useful at all. Right? What the heck? We're not doing anything about Full Metal Alchemist. But anyway, so it's a pirate themed one, and the idea is that this guy or this kid or whatever. He wants to become the pirate king and find this one famous pirate's treasure. Mm-hmm. One Piece is what the treasure is called. So that's what the whole premise is. Creator Aikiro Oda tweeted out in a handwritten note. It was a really cool handwritten note. It's on our website if you guys want to see it. Announcing that the Netflix is going to be joining his production team in doing this. So he's already been kind of working on it behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. Now he has Netflix's power on this, so he's going to get it done. It'll be a 10-episode run, and the series is developed by Suasha and Tomorrow Studios. This is the team that's also working on Netflix's Cowboy Bebop. That'll be good. And then I explain what One Piece is here. So, Netflix is doing this where they're grabbing these animes. We have also Avatar. They grabbed Avatar to get the live action of that. What do you think of that idea? Do you think that's a pretty good idea?
I mean, if it's already got a large fan base, people obviously like the storytelling of it. So I think it has a good shot. I mean, you're making it live action. Just don't do like the Avatar movie by M. Night Shyamalan. Don't
let him touch anything.
Yeah, it needs to be hands off for a while. But
I'm a little worried at being told 10 episodes because I think there's like over 200 of the regular.
Yeah, well, I imagine it's not going to tell the entire story.
No, I know, but how are you going to even touch it? It's so much.
You just got to do enough to get funding for the rest of it, right? Get some people hooked and
get people hooked.
Yeah, but I'm thinking now, One Piece, the treasure's One Piece. It must have been like in a volcano and all melted into one big block of gold or something.
I have no clue. I know a lot of people that are like anime fans that are listening to us like, what the hell?
Right. Unsubscribe.
Yeah, so unfortunately, even our anime expert doesn't know about it.
Yeah.
And
hey, if anybody knows about it when it airs, you want to come on and join us and explain some of it?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And message me on Twitter or email us at thegeekfreakpdcast or at gmail.com or go to our website and you can do it there.
Yeah, you can be our local expert.
Yeah, and we'll have you on. You'll explain what One Piece is, and we'll do a special episode for that. It's a good idea. Yeah. All right, next up, we have 2 new Transformers films in the works. I think this is a good sign. I know you're already not thinking it's a good sign.
I mean, they got funding, so that must be something. But
yeah. First up, the one movie will be based off of the Bumblebee movie, so it's going to be a sequel to Bumblebee. They'll continue doing that. They said that's going to be a smaller budget and be more character based and story based. The other one, go ahead.
Who owns Transformer now? Is it Sony?
I don't know. I think it's Fox.
Okay.
Well, that can't be right.
I don't know. That's what
Paramount.
I'm thinking.
I think it's Paramount.
Okay.
I'm almost positive it's Paramount now.
All right.
Okay. And then the other one is going to be rebooting the main series. So this will be your Optimus Prime series and stuff like that. And that one they said is going to be a blockbuster, spectacular, but they're still going to be focused on the story and stuff like that. One side thing they said is they want to start making Transformers movies where there are stories within the Transformers world, but not necessarily a main Transformers movie. So I think they're trying to create an MCU kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know,
I think they're realizing you can't pull the same thread and expect it to keep getting the same attention because you can only introduce humans to aliens and have that same conflict one time. So
yeah,
they have to diversify what they're doing with them. It's hard to keep writing the same story over and over again.
So this was reported by Variety. I want to make sure to give them a shout out on this because it was one of their sources, their unknown sources that said it's going to be an MCU thing. So yeah, I'm a little worried about this because the thing about Transformers is it's so much explosions and stuff like that. It's the Michael Bay effect.
Yeah.
That we really don't need that. You know, we want more. That was the best part about Bumblebee. It was just a really close knit story. I don't know. Let's just first off scratch all Shia LaBeouf stuff.
Yeah.
That whole universe is done.
So that's one thing is, you know, Shia LaBeouf was cool, but then now you're starting a whole new, or hopefully a whole new franchise out of this.
Yeah.
Is it going to be like, are you going to start with a good staple actor, or are you going to take somebody who's unknown and you got to make sure you cast it well? Because if this is going to continue, you need to have a good anchor point in there.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know Optimus and the main characters and stuff, but you can't revolve your movie around them without the human actors.
I heard somebody mention that it could be based off the Beast Wars stuff, which I really like. That's the Transformers I really liked when I was younger. You remember when they used to do that?
No.
It was just two factions of Transformers, right? Like normal, but they were all animal based. So there was dinosaurs and animals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. That'd be, to me, if you don't have that human element, then it's too much CGI.
Yeah.
You really got to ground it a little bit. So
yeah, those big CGI fights, they kind of get to be too much. In the beginning, it was beautiful. It was just all eye candy.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point, you're like, okay, well, there's just too much candy.
Yeah. It's cool to see them, do the little transforming. They do it, the clicks and the pops and all that stuff and gears moving. But after you see that, now they just like jump in the air and all this cool magic happens real quick. And then it just gets to be white noise.
It's amazing how fast that died too. Because I think the first two movies we went to midnight premiere. And then like the last few movies, it was just like, oh, that's right, that's out. I'm not gonna even watch it on Netflix.
Maybe pull that apart and go back to when their technology was evolving to the point that they can mimic certain creatures or something like. I don't know. Just it's getting too far. You can't keep blowing stuff up so much.
Yeah, you lose interest. It's the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. So hopefully, this being a restart, they changed enough to make it more exciting or catch our attention again and not keep going in the same direction.
Yeah, hopefully. All right, next up, Netflix and Titmouse. There's a lot of Netflix news I'm realizing.
I know, right?
Netflix and Titmouse have signed a multi-year deal.
I've never heard of that company.
You have watched their work.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The list in here is huge. But
if you see their logo, which is a little blue bird, I know.
Oh, yeah, little chirps.
Yeah. Chirp, chirp, or whatever, yeah. Actually, it's like a dude's voice. It's like, chirp. That's actually what it is.
Yeah.
So, Titmouse Studio and Netflix, they signed a multi-year deal for a new batch of animated series and including first right of refusal for all future animation. So, like, say they come up with an idea. Yeah. Netflix has to say that they don't want it before they can go to anywhere else.
That's pretty cool.
Titmouse has already made Big Mouth and an upcoming The Midnight Gospel for Netflix. Mm-hmm. They are most known for Venture Brothers.
Bam.
Awesome. Metalocalypse. Awesome.
Yeah.
Super Jail. It's okay. Black Dynamite. Haven't seen it.
No.
Their adult animation style has been primarily reserved for Adult Swim. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at that kind of Adult Swim feel that Netflix is trying to get over. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking this might be to fill in that Family Guy hole that they have.
Probably is. So right here with Netflix, the fact that they're going to have Metalocalypse and Venture Brother type content brings me to the same thing we've talked about with Disney Plus as well. Yeah. I think it would be wise to categorize your channel, break it up into groups so that I know my kids, I know you could put filters and stuff like that, but I know my kids aren't watching Netflix, which has Metalocalypse on it, and it's all, dark and gothic and stuff. I want my kids to be watching the Netflix that has, Barney and...
Netflix has that.
Where it breaks up into categories. I know you could go to go to the kids channel.
Right, but then that Netflix Kids doesn't have all this on it.
Yeah,
Doesn't have Big Mouth on there.
Yeah, I guess that solves the problem right there. And like, because the brand as a whole gets that reputation of whatever its content is.
Right.
So if you were to break it down and say, oh, my kids don't watch that show, that channel, they watch this channel. Yeah, I guess saying Netflix versus Netflix Kids is enough.
I do like that Netflix does that because when the kids are over, I put on Netflix Kids and I just like, all right, guys, go to town.
You watch whatever you want.
And really, they're usually just watching YouTube on their iPad. And the kids don't really watch Netflix whenever I watch them. So.
And especially kids these days are smart enough to know how to back out, change profiles, log into whichever one they want.
3 years old, they know how to use an iPad better than you know my parents, anyways. Yeah. It's unreal. So. But I like the idea of them grabbing Tim House. It's a good company. I mean, if they could somehow get a new version of Venture Brothers. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I love Venture Brothers.
Rick and Morty's not in the same group, right?
No, that's that's Harmon, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but there is there's a lot of cross work where they've worked together in a lot of different things. Yeah. Like there's a lot of voices and stuff like that.
Trying to make a competitor for them or something.
Yeah. But yeah, with them missing Family Guy and Bob's Burgers and stuff like that, that was a hit when they dropped those. Yeah. That's a biggie. So I think this is just a smart move all around. I'm trying to catch up on Netflix so I can focus on Hulu next.
I noticed Netflix is pumping out content though. They have a lot of new stuff.
They have to. Look what Disney Plus is doing. Look what Hulu.
Yeah, they're stepping up their game. But it's good to see that they're stepping up their game. They're the first to have developed this type of streaming. You know, they built it up, and now other people are getting in and trying to get their piece of the pie. And everybody else should. That's awesome. But we want to see competition in the industry. Yeah, it's better for us as viewers. But it's good to see that Netflix isn't just going to run idle and let everybody overpower them. They're going to step it up too and come to the plate. So yeah, that's cool.
I think it's a good idea. Yeah, I think that's good. And it's funny because I was just thinking about this when I was writing this article for it. Because, by the way, guys, all the stuff we read today, it's from our website. Every morning I go through the news and I post a couple articles if there's good enough articles for it. And so if you guys want to know what we're going to be talking about, we post the article there and we use those as our notes. And then we have all the sources as well on the website. So the new website I'm pretty happy with. And then I'll have to show you how to use that today, by the way.
Right.
And then, so the last bit that we're going to be going over is it's February. We got February, 2nd today or 3rd today that we're recording this. We're going to go over the free games for Xbox. Your free games are TT Isle of Man, which is a racing game. And then Fable Heroes. That's from February 1st to 28th. And then you have Call of Cthulhu and Star Wars Battlefront, the old school Star Wars Battlefront. February 16th to March 15th. I love those old Battlefronts. Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
Those are the best.
For PlayStation, it's the PS Plus, and they killed it this time. They got Sims 4, BioShock the Collection.
The whole collection?
Yes. For free.
That's crazy.
That's awesome. Yes. And Firewall.
Everybody who's got a PS system, go get all the BioShocks.
I wish that they would put PS Plus on PC. They'd make some money on that.
I'd play all the BioShocks on PC. I'm down.
Yeah. I love BioShock. Okay, another thing we're going to be doing, and I want to try to do this regularly, is the beginning of the month we're going to tell you what's kind of going on. So if you want to go to the theater or something like that. Nice. So that's another article I was trying to figure out what am I going to call this monthly article. So I got it, what's going on. But at first I'm going to be like,
what's going on?
Okay, there you go. If I use that voice, I'm happy with it. Okay, so on our website, we have the different posters for everything. And then I also included the actual trailer for every single thing that's coming up that's cool. Not the stuff that's not cool. Okay, so in the world of movies, we got 3 kind of interesting movies this month. We have Sonic the Hedgehog, Birds of Prey, and The Call of the Wild. Okay. Yeah. There was The Kingsman, but they pushed that back to September.
Why?
Because they hate me. I wanted it so bad.
They're just trying to polish it for you, Frank. They want it to be pristine just for you.
Yeah. So we're gonna do reviews for Birds of Prey and Sonic the Hedgehog. Are any of those something you're excited about?
I want to see how well they did Sonic because we all saw the animation that they were gonna release.
Yeah.
And I'm super impressed that they made the call to the fans don't like it. We're gonna change it now. We may lose money, but we'll probably lose less money. So let's just go ahead and do that. So I'm excited to see. I mean, beforehand I wasn't really interested in it, but the fact they made that change that makes me want to go. Put some money in their pocket and check it out.
That's a good point. Yeah, the fact they're willing to put that effort out.
Yeah, I want the studios to recognize that when the fans make a suggestion and you act on it, then they're gonna go at least watch your movie and see if the change that you made was accurate or worth it or what they wanted.
Yeah. And then with Birds of Prey, I'm anxious for Birds of Prey. I want it to be good. Yeah. Our next pop quiz will probably be on Birds of Prey. I'm still working on getting enough facts for that. By the way, we now do it might actually be weekly because it's kind of becoming our most popular YouTube stuff. and TikTok stuff. We put on TikTok now, so I don't know. But anyway, so we do these pop quizzes where we do 10-question quizzes on our YouTube channel. You guys have probably seen that already. I'm working on the Birds of Prey one, but I don't have enough facts for it. So if you guys know good Birds of Prey facts, hit me up with them on Twitter or whatever, and then I'll include it on the quiz because I'm trying to compile. If I can't get them in time, which is by Thursday, I can't get it up by the release. So
nice.
Next up is the Call of the Wild. I'm anxious to see that. I need to read the book first though because I feel like it's like required reading for high schoolers. So I should definitely read it, be able to read in time.
Yeah.
By the end of the month, but we'll see. TV wise, we have Brooklyn Nine-Nine coming back. Lock and Key looks really good. The final season for Clone Wars. They brought back the final season, like 10 years after the last season. Better Call Saul's final season. The next season of Altered Carbon.
What? They're doing it? They're continuing it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it got canceled.
Nope, it's back.
Oh, that's cool. I'm stoked.
So, okay, man. That's your answer right there.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait for that. Well, I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I haven't seen very much Clone Wars, but I want to binge it all.
You would love Clone Wars, man. I mean, Darth Maul.
Yeah. I need to just sit down. I've tried before to sit and watch it, and I just lose interest in maybe it's just the first season.
The first season is not that great.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just need to skip
the first season. They try to make it like a Disney show, and the second season they're like, let's try doing our version of like Avatar, where it's on the Disney Channel, like Avatar's on. Yeah, it's on Nickelodeon, but this is kind of a little bit edgier. Like it's a little bit more story
to the story.
The story as Clone Wars goes on, it's some of my very favorite Star Wars content out there.
Nice.
Lock and Key is based off of a very famous comic book. We'll be doing a review for that one as well, and we'll do the Clone Wars review as well. But yeah, good month for TV.
Better Call Saul too. That's hilarious. That's just a good all around show.
Final season, dude. I'm behind by like 2 seasons on that.
Really?
I gotta catch up.
Yeah, that's good.
Actually, same thing with Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm a slacker. Games, we have a new Mega Man collection coming out, Kingdom Hearts DLC coming out, a Street Fighter collection coming out. This is already it's the collector's edition essentially. Life is Strange 2, they're compiling all of the different series into one. And the new thing would be the Dark Crystal Tactics coming out. So it's a tactics-based game off of Dark Crystal.
Why?
Because there's some people out there that liked it.
Did somebody accidentally tweet or hit the like button on Facebook when somebody posted the picture? And they're like, oh, wait, somebody out there likes it. We're going to make some more stuff about it.
We have a fan. Yeah. Oh, my God.
It's like, dude, come on, bury it.
I will give him this. You know how like that really crappy puppets kind of look? Yeah. It actually looks really good in video games.
Yeah. Okay.
Because when you're playing the video game, you're like, oh, wow, it's like I'm actually watching the show because video game graphics are better than what they looked like in the Netflix show.
Yeah.
So it actually looks really good.
Easy. Yeah.
When you watch the trailers for it, again, it's on our website. They actually look pretty good because it's pretty close to what you can get.
It'd be good to see if they take the animation from the video game and just remake the show with that. It'd probably look better.
Yeah. All right. My next thing I want to talk about, Jonathan. Now, this is going to be something unique to us, okay?
Oh.
I was like, okay, normally we do geek, but also kind of pop culture-y.
Yeah.
In the fact that it's like,
movies and stuff.
But geek's also science, right?
Science kind of touches into the nerd realm, but they bridge. There
right?
are things where they agree. Yes.
I can geek out about nerd stuff.
Yes. I do. We do both like Star Trek, and that is very nerdy as well. It's geeky and nerdy.
Let's talk about the prequel to Star Trek called NASA. Okay?
Yes. Pre-Star Trek.
They're doing something here, and I thought this was an interesting conversation point here. NASA is now going to let a commercial company put a destination module on the space station to rent out to billionaires.
A destination module, like an apartment?
On a hotel room.
What?
On the space station, yeah.
What?
What does that mean for us? What do you think, man? Just off of what I've told you.
I mean, it means that our future will continue to be...
capitalism.
Capitalism, yeah. How do you... There's no... What movie was that just came out that totally had like practically a casino on the moon or Mars with Matt Damon?
I'm thinking Outer Worlds, but it's,
What was that movie where... I think it was Matt Damon lives on another planet. Oh God, I'm terrible.
You're botching this episode, Jonathan.
It's a good movie too. It was pretty good. Well, it was okay. Anyways, but
yeah, so
I think that's great because NASA, I'm sure they could use the funding. We want more.
That's the good side of
space.
It. Yeah.
If you charge $1 billion, I'm not going to spend it. You're not going to spend it. But maybe Bill Gates is like, cool, $1 billion donation to NASA, and I get to live in space for a minute. That's tight. So
that's my thing. So after I read the article, I really was kind of like a dilemma, and I was like, I kind of want to talk about this on the podcast. I got to figure out a reason for us to talk about this on the podcast. So it's Axiom Space is the company out of Houston that they're going to use for this. And yeah, so you can spend, I don't know how much money. It will be billionaires that can afford it though.
Yeah.
To live up in space in the hotel room, and then they'll shuttle you down. The bad part of this is it's capitalism being mixed up into a federal government agency. I'm not a big fan of that.
Yeah.
But if that money could actually further push us into more space exploration, it's worth it.
That's what I think. That's the defining factor. Is how is that money? Is that money really being watched and utilized to?
Yeah.
If this is a trial and these billionaires are test monkeys that are going up there to see what it's like to live in space, and their funding is what makes it so that average people like us, or maybe, regular wealthy people, not billionaires, can afford to do it, I think it's great. If it's just going to be the 1% for the rest of eternity are the only ones that have access to space, and we're going to be the slaves on the little planet while everyone's living.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Then, let's just jump forward 100 years so I could destroy the space station and we'll be cool.
Yeah, that's so. It's quite a dilemma because I really don't like the idea of billionaires having an influence in anything with a federal budget.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. Here's my big stipulation to this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want every penny that gets made from this thing to stick in NASA. It should not go to anything else.
Yeah.
It has to be in NASA. And then if you think about it, like the billionaires are going to spend the money on other companies if they don't spend it on NASA. And if I were a billionaire looking to spend money, I would trust NASA more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I would almost say like, make it like a random lottery. Say it's, $100 million per ticket, and they don't pull a winner until they have, $5 billion in the pool or something like that. And then it's a random lottery for whoever.
You're just trying to maximize that money?
Yeah. Something just so that it's not a pay to play, a quick and easy. I'm going to give my money and I know I'm going to space and I get the space station.
Well,
I control it.
I actually think that's the only thing that's fair is the fact that, like, you know what I'm saying? If you spend X amount of money, then you should be on the list to go.
I mean, but I'm thinking if you're a donor who contributes to NASA and you're willing to contribute at this volume, then you have a shot to win in the raffle to go live on the space station for, a week.
Yeah.
That's
that's that problem. That's a little bit too capitalism for me.
Yeah.
Because it's a federal agent. I really would rather it be like, look, it's $10 billion. Flat rate. If you can afford it, you can, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just $10 billion. Get a wait list going. Make it happen.
Yeah. I don't know. It's tricky.
It's a real tricky one.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, how can we trust this to not be corrupted too?
Yeah.
Because then I'm saying like some senator's friend that's like, hey man, here's $10 billion. You want to scoop me up on that wait list?
Yeah.
No, man, get on the wait list. You're done. You know?
It's big money moving is always going to be corrupt.
It's scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even, it's like, put me in charge of it. Then I'm like, yeah, but if I had $10 billion at access, who knows what I would do,
Right.
I can't say I wouldn't be corrupt.
And at the same time, like, NASA, how do I say it? Like, they're like I'm saying, they would be the test monkeys because we don't know how secure, how well is the return, how well is the launch. Like, can these billionaires be over 50 with a heart condition? Like, can you?
Right. Yeah.
What does it take? And then in this process, I'm sure there's going to be some trial and error, and we're going to figure out what you need and don't need to go into space more effectively for the casual person, not a scientist who's been studying it and conditioning for it for the last 10 years or something.
This Axiom Space Company, they're the ones that are going to be running it. So they're the ones who say go up and stuff like that.
Yeah. So again, it's privatized.
That's privatized. And that worries me because I'm like, okay, so say I'm up in the space station, or say whoever is up in the space station, they spent $10 million or $10 billion to be up there. I'm just throwing out $10 billion. I don't want them fraternizing with the guys that are doing the research. Because in the space station, we have multiple countries all doing very important work up there.
Yeah.
I don't want them to be like, oh, we have to go ahead and see like if they're okay.
Yeah.
No, man, you are busy. Don't worry about the guys, the billionaires up there.
Yeah.
I don't want Bill Gates to go up there. Like, I actually really like Bill Gates, but he does a lot for charities and stuff like that. But anyways, I don't want somebody like Bill Gates to go up there and then all of a sudden like one of the astronauts like, oh, I want to go see Bill Gates. No, don't talk to him. You're done.
You got work to do.
You're busy.
Yeah.
You're on your job.
Don't let this distract you from the important work you're doing.
They'll have waiters up there or something like that. I don't know, but that's a whole other thing.
I don't know. And that's a simple example that if these people are spending tons of money, it's got to be a comfortable environment. So how much are we modifying our space station to make it comfortable for, the rich?
The module itself, if you can see here, it has like 3 modules on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to put this image up on the YouTube channel. Every time I say that, when I'm editing, I'm like, mother, why did I have to say that? So anyways, so I bet they actually show people can come down to this and look around, which is really neat.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Viewing.
Yeah, it's all glass, circular around, so you're completely floating in space, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then this looks like it's 2 different rooms.
Yeah.
And then this is probably the lobby. But and they showed, I can't find the picture. If they showed it inside, it actually looks quite. Oh, there it is. So it looks kind of nice inside there, huh?
Yeah. So you're in 0G the whole time, though, right?
Yeah, you're in space.
Okay. Oh, yeah, but I mean,
I think they probably spin it.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. When I watch some of the videos from the space station sometimes, because they air all kinds of stuff. I think people just watch it anytime, and they're floating around the whole time.
Man, it seems like they must have a gym or something. Like, how do you?
They do have a gym. They have a treadmill or something like that up there to get their muscles in shape.
Yeah, you're just decaying, not using any muscles.
Yeah. But it is quite beautiful in there.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks like they got lights in between each of those little pillow things.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I want to go to space, but let's let some high-end people test it out first. And
let's see, it's got TV and iPads on the walls.
So wasn't Virgin 5 or 10 years ago making a plane that would just fly?
They still are doing all that, yeah.
Okay.
This one's just going to be connected to the space station. Is why it's unique.
So yeah, this space station is made by NASA, right?
It's made by Axiom. It'll attach to NASA. It'll attach to the space station. It's being done through NASA, though.
That's what I mean. So the Axiom capsule is attaching to our NASA space station.
Well, the space station is an international space station.
Oh, okay.
It's owned,
so
you can see, here's the Japanese flag on this side.
Yeah. Okay.
It's owned by different people.
So is there anything like that
it's just
privatized yet already?
No, but I was just thinking how America, I don't know, it's we got a section. Yeah, we're going to send some billionaires up there. Hold up.
Yeah.
When you look at the Japanese side, it's probably a bunch of scientists, Germany over here, they got a lot of scientists, and we're just hold on, guys, here comes Bill Gates.
Make some room. Make some room. We're going to send some rich guys up there.
Yeah, you're going to have Mark Wahlberg up there next week?
Our side's going to be plated in gold.
Yeah, oh God.
Oh, really? What's the gold do? Oh, nothing. It just looks pretty.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny that you say that because it looks like it's ivory and gold inside that room right there.
Yeah, seriously.
So yeah, we'll share the pictures from Axiom as well, because it's funny that NASA shows the pictures of the module when they do it. Look, both of them have a tweet about the new thing coming up.
Yeah,
theirs is at the outside of the space station. Look how sciencey this looks.
Yeah,
and then Axiom's is that shit looks tight.
Yeah, check out this luxury hotel in space.
That's so funny. Oh wow. Anyway, so that was pretty interesting. If you guys like us talking about different science things, stuff like that, and you want to include it in the Geek podcast, man, let us know. I always hunt these down. Yeah. I find these out as my own interest. I'd love to share them if possible. So, but yeah, that's just that picture right there. That would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah. So another thing, these people have to be trained. You can't just go up there as a rich person and say, okay, from today to tomorrow, I'm going to hop in a shuttle and go.
They have to go. They must have to go through a rigorous, health physical to see if they could survive space travel.
I mean, you're just going to be eating different foods, and you have to live in 0G for a certain period of time. Who knows what the
menu will be too. It's not going to be
you don't have a butler. They don't have a private kitchen in there. I'm surprised. What the heck?
Well, when you look at the modules attached to it, there's 3 different modules. This one being the lobby. I bet there's going to be some staff or something like that in there.
You think they're going to have staff living on the space station as well to tend to the billionaires?
How else will they have somebody to run this? You can't do that from down here and then expect the space to go. Somebody has to be up there running this thing.
That's true. As experimental as it is, I was thinking you would do all the training on the ground, and the person would have to learn how to live in a space station. Learn like the NASA people do for months or years or whatever, and study and practice. But yeah, you're right. If this person pulls the wrong tube or whatever, there's got to be a genius there that already knows how everything works. And
look how these things come down and close that. That right there is my favorite part, because I would be down there all day.
Actually, yeah, you have to have somebody there just to receive the person. Maybe
that's what I'm saying.
Maybe the regular people that live on the space station would do that, but
that would upset me.
You're saying,
they're busy being scientists. Yeah. They worked hard all their lives to be up there.
But this is funding their science, so just open the door for the guy. Check on him once a day.
And that's another thing too. Is the billion go to NASA or does it go to the entire space station? I think it's only fair if it goes to the whole space station.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Yeah.
So much corruption's gonna happen. It's already broken.
Americans, especially the last few years, have been really we're all screwed.
Yeah.
It's been so hard to not think everything's gonna get corrupt. Okay, next up, guys, we're going to be talking about Warcraft 3 Reforged review. So this is a little bit unique because normally when we do a review, I play the full game, we review it, or somebody plays, all of our podcast team, and we review it. There was so many bugs I couldn't complete the game.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and that really worries me because it's Blizzard, and I love Blizzard so much.
Yeah.
And like they're known for their polish, and this is a dumpster fire.
This is the finished game, though?
Finished. Oh boy, yeah, that's a fun word for this.
Right.
Finished game.
Wow, that's insane.
2018, they announced that they're coming out with Warcraft 3 Reforged. Warcraft 3, one of their most successful and popular games of all times, and it's what World of Warcraft is based off of, the storyline-wise. Okay. So the Reforged, when they announced it with a trailer at BlizzCon, it was this gorgeous cinematic that was going to be, it was replacing the cinematic they had in the game, where Arthas comes up and he's going to do the Culling of Stratham. Do you remember Culling of Stratham from Wrath?
No.
It's the dungeon where you go back in time and you end up killing a bunch of you go through a whole castle and you're killing a bunch of zombies. Okay.
Nope.
Well, anyways, it was going to be that. And the intro was like, oh man, they're redoing it. It looks gorgeous. That was in 2008. When the game came out.
2018?
18, thank you.
Oh.
When the game came out, first of all, the game came out, it feels like a year late.
Yeah.
But anyways, when it finally came out, all those cutscenes are not in the game.
Really?
They bait and switched at us.
That's messed up.
Yeah, it's the regular cutscene that was in the old game, just a little bit higher def, but not enough, really. So they got 4K version of all the things, and 4K version just means it is clear, but it's not like it's
remastered.
Yeah. Right?
You just see the blocks sharper.
Yeah, exactly. If you go to IGN.com, we won't do it on ours because IGN worked hard on this. They do a side-by-side comparison of the two cutscenes.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, so it's the same.
Step for step. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah. And it took additional time to make. The game runs terribly. It's actually at a lower frame rate than it actually than the old game. Okay, so the original game that came out in 2002 runs smoother than the brand new game that came out this year in 2020.
Did they just stack more sharper graphics on an old engine or something?
We don't know what they did. They messed it all up. Yeah. They botched it.
That's sad.
And now and there's a lot of people who are still playing this game from 2002. If you had that game, they're forcing you to upgrade. They actually took that other game from you. The game you already paid money for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It is. Up to last year, you could have bought that game still. So there's some people, I bought it maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah.
That game's gone for me now. So, it's freaking nuts. Okay. It had so many bugs that I couldn't finish 2 levels.
Really?
Yeah, and the last one I was like, okay, well, I'm just done. I can't keep going. This is crazy. It has the custom mods and games that you can make within the game. So it has where you can make your own map. So people have made games out of that.
Yeah.
Now Blizzard owns all those.
What? They own the content you created yourself.
Exactly.
That's ridiculous.
If you used World of Warcraft engine to make it, they own it now. That's
so
nuts.
dumb.
The reason they're doing this is because on the old Warcraft 3, these guys made a game called Dota, which we all know now.
Is huge.
And became League of Legends. So those 2 games, technically Blizzard was the reason they exist.
Yeah.
And they never got any money out of them. So they were really antsy about that. So they made it this to now where if anybody tries that again, they're going to get all the money for it. They own everything you make.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad, which means they could delete them and stuff like that if they want to. It's just unfortunate. Okay. Yep, my notepad's fighting back. There we go. The original has been... Okay, yeah, so the original Warcraft 3 has been removed. You're forced to upgrade. All the old servers are shut down. They removed the servers, too. So if you get the old Warcraft 3, like an old version of it, you can't even play it anymore. You have to somehow find a legal server or something.
You're literally being forced to play the new version. They're not supporting it, not letting you access it at all.
Exactly. Some of the small features they removed are clans, so the ability to make a guild kind of thing. Yeah. That's gone. Your player profiles are gone. A lot of the chat channels are gone.
Why would they intentionally destroy a game of theirs?
People are baffled by this.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Do they think this? Maybe they think this game was a mistake in the first place, because they just
there's so much hype behind it. And what's crazy is this team that made this one also did the StarCraft it was the same team. They also did a StarCraft remastered. Came out perfect. It was exactly what we wanted. So StarCraft 1, they remastered it. Looks great. Perfect. This one, we don't know what happened.
Were they trying to make this mimic the StarCraft game? Maybe.
No, dude. No, it doesn't make any sense. I actually sat in on their panel last year at BlizzCon to see what was going on with it. And they were talking about how we're timing the swings so they come out perfectly. So it was they're redesigning the game from ground up, which is fine because you guys are going to put new cinematics in it. But we didn't get those. And so we're like, what did you do then?
Yeah.
Because it feels like you picked
it apart and rearranged it all in a way that doesn't make sense anymore.
Yeah. It's unreal. Okay. And then, so people are wanting refunds, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a question about a Blizzard game, you just go to the forums and ask, and other people who already know the answers will help you.
Yeah.
People are asking on the forums, how do I get a refund? People are helping them like, oh, this is what you got to do to get a refund. Blizzard's banning both of them.
Really?
If you're asking for a refund or if you're helping people with refunds, they're going to ban you.
Wow.
On the forums.
I mean, I've never played that game, but those people have a good reason not to be Blizzard fans anymore ever again.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
This is the same kind of thing they did during the Hearthstone debacle that happened, a few months back. When Blizzard fucks up, they fuck up hard, and they really make a big mess out of it.
Man.
And so right now on Metacritic, which is kind of it's the resource that we like the most for our ratings when we're comparing ratings. They have it at out of 100. Guess what the score is out of 100?
Like 6?
0.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to undercut you.
It is a 0.5. And there's a lot of people now that are on the bandwagon. They're like, oh yeah, bury it.
Yeah.
I've played the game and it is awful. It is an awful version of the game. It really feels like you're playing the basic game whenever you do get to play it. It doesn't feel like you've upgraded at all. You spent $30 for nothing. It's pitiful. There was signs that they were going to have like where you could buy texture packs for characters. So we're like, maybe they're rebuilding because they want to be able to future skins are going to sell because they do that for StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
There could be something like that. I don't know what they did, but it's a mess.
Yeah.
And so it's 0.5 on Metacritic. My score is probably like a 3 out of 10 because when I do play, I am enjoying myself, but I'm hoping they fix it.
Yeah.
But right now, there's nothing.
It said that like customer service or customer response is just so dog shit. Like that's just horrible.
It's nuts because it's not how Blizzard operates.
Yeah.
It's so crazy they're doing this.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking is like, you don't see that from them in other aspects. Like when you go to BlizzCon, the way you talk about it is just
I love Blizzard. I love
totally
BlizzCon.
made to tailor to the fans, and it's to build up that fanfare. And
Overwatch, like everything's great about Blizzard, and then there's things like this happen, and it's really easy as an Overwatch or as a Blizzard fan to be like, well, this is the Activision part of Blizzard that's messing up. When they joined companies, it messed things up.
yeah, but it's got to be.
But this is so weird, man.
It must be a certain department or something like that you'd have to be able to narrow it down. But if you can't, it must be customer service or something like. Because if you can't talk to the people in charge of Blizzard and say, hey, this is how people are being treated. What are you guys going to do about it?
Yeah.
If they're being stopped at the customer service line, then that needs to be changed.
It's really nuts. So one guy from Australia, he's wanting a review or a refund, and Blizzard straight up denied him.
Yeah.
Right. As part of the refund process, you have to plead for a refund, and then they said, well, he played too much time, so he got denied. That's against the law in Australia. Blizzard's response was, we're an American company. We don't care about your guys' laws.
Really?
That's not how that law works. That's not how that works. So there's going to be probably a lawsuit there. There is currently, this started like a couple days ago, from the recording probably about 5 days ago, or from the release of this. There's now a class action lawsuit against Blizzard about people this is literally a bait and switch. They showed us a cinematic that's not in the game.
Yeah. They showed us gameplay that was not gameplay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The UI, they're showing off, this beautiful new UI that's going to be modern. The UI is completely not in the game.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. There's so many things that they just simply showed us are just not there. This is not the game they showed us. That I've never, like, if you're looking at like No Man's Skies, they showed like they promised like this game's amazing and you're gonna have multiple things, and then the game we got was like, this doesn't have all that, but it's because it was like poorly shown. Like what they showed us was basically everything that was in the game. Not Blizzard showed things that were in the game that are just not in the game. Yeah. Like that's a whole different thing.
If you go to BK and you order number 6 and it's a burger and you get a fish taco, you should be pissed off.
Exactly what we got. We got a bunch of fish tacos and I can't stand them.
Yep, that's crazy.
So we'll see how it goes. We'll keep you guys up to date on this. Again, we're big Blizzards fans, so it feels like a betrayal when this kind of thing happens.
Yeah.
I have Warcraft 3. I ended up uninstalling it because I'm like, there's so many bugs, I can't even finish this game.
That's a shame. Hopefully the overall company steps up, takes responsibility for that, and somehow tries to make it up to the fans.
Yeah.
Because stupidity that could just cripple the company. I mean, they have other great stuff, but if that's what you can expect, if there's an Overwatch problem or a World of Warcraft problem that you're just going to get shut down and rejected, then why would you even, risk being involved in their
It's really
games?
Nuts because, for those of you guys who are not familiar with Blizzard, they're a very good company typically. And I know it seems crazy especially for somebody like me to like be rooting for a company, but I do root for this company often. And this is so out of character that it has me perplexed. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah. So that's the current state of games right there, man. We'll have to see how that goes. Warcraft 3 Reforged. I'm going to give it I'll give it like out of 100, I'll give it like give it a 10 out of 100. I'm just so disappointed. It's unreal. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, well that's it for us on news. Anything? What have you been playing?
Just Overwatch. Hopefully, I'm gonna get a new graphics card pretty soon. So
and then you're getting on Sea of Thieves with me and Squeaks.
I'll try it out.
Oh yeah, you will. I was just telling him this morning. He's like, he promised us.
Yeah.
Oh man. So not last night, the night before, we were playing and we lost. So we sank our own ship twice accidentally.
Yeah.
Well, from dogfights and stuff like that. We ended up doing a really good war against one other team. But it was, and then we have our ship. We have some good stuff on it. We got a rowboat. We're going. A Kraken comes out and like we don't have the ability to fight this Kraken right now. We didn't have enough cannonballs or anything like that. So I put everything on the rowboat. Squeaks doesn't know the tricks as much as I know because I've played a lot of like with people, so like how to do things with people.
Yeah.
Put it all on the rowboat. I'm gonna row out. You just keep this thing busy for a while. So I'm rowing out and I hide in like this alcove on an island. I see that our ship sinks, and I see another ship going by, and I'm like just kind of keeping hitting it as much as possible. And then that ship starts to kind of come around this other corner. So I'm like, well, I have to hide this one gem that we had that's like really bright and shiny. You can see it from like real far away. So I go to hide it behind a rock. And I end up glitching out in the rock, and it put me back on our ship. I'm like, no! So Squeaks, run back to this island, or it's that island. I don't remember exactly what island it was. We went to the wrong one. And it only has like, maybe 15 minutes before it all despawns if nobody's around it.
Oh, man.
So it's like, oh my God. So go. This is the kind of stuff that happens in Sea of Thieves all the time, where we're just like, hold on to the stuff. It's very creeper blew you up kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which Squeaks needs to get Minecraft if you're going to be playing Sea of Thieves. I think it's a good trade.
Come on now.
I think he'd love it. Anyway, so we're all running back and stuff like that as much as possible. Then, it's so nuts. A megalodon shows up, which is these ships, or which are these sharks at the size of the ship, and they start attacking us. Then while we're fighting that, this other ship rolls in that starts fighting us because they're a ship that we sunk earlier on, so it's no doubt. So they're fighting us, and then while they're doing that, a skeletal ship comes out from the bottom of the ocean to fight us. So we're fighting all three, and we beat all three at once.
Oh, shit.
It was freaking epic.
That's crazy.
Our ship sinks, but their ship sinks. You can hear the music, like the music changes, because everything like in Minecraft 2, where like the music kind of tells you what's going on.
Yeah.
The music changes where you can hear that the sad music, and so we get onto their boat, and then their boat's sinking too. And it was one of those things where it was like, that is the best. So we got off totally happy. That was a really good way to end the night.
Nice.
But yeah, I was like, the whole time we're like, Jonathan needs to be getting this game.
Right.
Sea of Thieves, it's funny because I don't own the game. I just get it through the Game Pass.
Yeah.
And it's one of those games, it's probably the first one in Game Pass where I'm like, I think I just got to buy the game out of respect because I enjoy the game so much.
Is it on Steam?
No, it's just the Microsoft Store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
But totally worth the play. It's really good. All right. Anything else?
That's it for me.
That's it for me too, guys. We'll see you guys next week for, we got better Oscars next week. We got to see if everybody's going to get together for that.
Nice.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.